Hello, my people, and how are we doing? This is M Special, a Biafran agitating for Biafran freedom, talking about Biafran, Nigeria, Africa in general. I hope we are all doing very well. We continue with China. China is like that, but they are not. They are still on the pipeline pushing for Africa. So the news I bring this afternoon reads, China to cancel loans for relevant African nations. China to cancel loans for relevant African nations. Please, I say welcome to my subscribers, my viewers, and any new visitor to my channel. I say if you have not subscribed, please do me a favor by subscribing. Or if you have been watching without subscribing, just hit that red button and you add to the strength of my channel. And God will bless each and every one of you for doing so and on every good thing that you lay your hand on. This past weekend, China was talking about giving Africa a free vaccination. And now they are talking about debt relief. And it sounds so good, no? But did you believe it's true? It reads, the Chinese president said this. For those African countries that are hit hard by coronavirus and are under heavy financial stress, that China will cooperate with the global community to give them great support by further expanding the period of debt suspension. China is Africa's biggest creditor by $145 billion. That is the money Africa is owing China, $145 billion. And on this debt they are talking about, they said that they are going to give this free debts on the debts that has no interest attached to it. And it's just 20% of it. Then it is for relevant countries of Africa. Then I ask, which countries are relevant and which one are irrelevant? This is a question for I and you to ask China. Which country of Africa is relevant and which of them are not relevant? We need to know. Maybe for me, the relevant ones are those ones that will tell them, yes, master, because they have borrowed to their nose. And the irrelevant ones are those ones that are still listening and trying to change their mind. Or those countries that they have nothing much to benefit. What do you think? Which of our African countries are relevant and which one is not relevant? But do you know what? As a Biafran, this very Chinese comment made me to know that Nigeria is not in existence as far as international community is concerned. Because here are the names of the countries that China is looking at as relevant countries. South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Senegal. Do not forget, Ethiopia is coming up with a very great plan for Africa and for itself. And that plan is being fought on because they don't want us to see the light of the day. So now, if really we, the Biafran people, are not holding the Nigerian people down, the black country called Nigeria, Nigeria would have been among the countries that they would take as a relevant country because of what they would benefit from it. But it wasn't so. Nigeria is nowhere to be found in the list. And that is to show you that we, the Biafrans, are hitting hard on Nigeria. And I say big kudos to my leader, Dr. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And very big kudos to we, the Biafran people. The power is in our hands. So Going on the debt relief of China, 20% debt relief without debt that has no interest attached to it. Do not forget, as an African, what is holding Africa today is the money Africa borrowed from European and the West, and they have finished paying those money, but the interest continues for generation and for lifetime. And this is exactly what China is playing into. Now, 20% is nothing. It will not make any meaning. There is no meaningful change. 20% debt relief that has no interest will make to Africa in general, because this 20% is in general the money Africa as a continent is owing China. Then now I said, and I add, $145 billion. What is it to Africa? If truly we have fathers, if truly we have leaders, if truly that the people sitting on the seat of powers of Africa are thinking Africa, what is $145 billion to Africa, the richest country in the planet Earth? Are we not supposed to, if really we have leaders, if really they are thinking for themselves and their generation to come, thinking Africa, what is this? What is $145 billion to China? Is it why they are shaking for China? For me as an African, knowing the resources that the world is benefiting from Africa, this is nothing. We are not talking about the ones China is stealing. If we have leaders, would they be doing what they are doing in Africa? For me, as an African citizen, I think this money has already been paid. If actually we would do, we will calculate and balance things, equations, from what they have stolen and the ones we have paid, you will see that they have even stolen more than $145 billion from Africa as a continent. But are those leading Africa, do they know this? Can they stand up to this? Can they face these challenges? That is why I keep repeating, Africa is not yet ready for United States or nations of Africa, as anyone may choose to call it. Tell me what you think. You know, they came up with vaccination. We said no. I don't know what our leaders are saying. Now, to buy their conscience, because African leaders are so easy to buy off. Majority of them, not all. Not like my Tanzanian president, and not like Madagascar, and not even like Rwandan. These are the ones coming up, standing for us, speaking our minds for the moment. So, what do you think as an African? What do you think? Are they pushing this debt relief to convince them to take the vaccination when Africa is one continent in this planet that has almost no case of COVID-19 pandemic? Let me hear from you. Do not forget to put on your notification bell so that you will always get my video firsthand. I'm waiting for your comments where you will conclude on this topic. Do have a wonderful week.